Jim Romer, Dr. Weather. I want to talk to you about this exploding wheat market, Corn Belt weather. And this is a little better looking version of myself. Look how we broke out in wheat technically early on this week. And the corn market is watching a variety of factors, South American weather problems and concerns versus drought easing rains in the Midwest. Let's get right to it today. So first of all, there's been a season to go along Kansas City wheat in 12 of the last 15 years. One of the reasons, as well as a big short position over the last 12 months or so, that wheat prices have rallied. And actually, historically, and this is what we do for Weather Wealth clients, make trade recommendations to give maps and charts like this, as well as long range and short range forecasts. Typically, we see wheat prices go higher versus December corn this time of the year. And as a result, you've seen that spread widen about 30 to 40 cents this week, about $2,000 a contract in the wheat corn spread. In addition, a big short position in the market. No surprise, both in soybeans there on the left, the lowest or the biggest net short position since 2019 in beans, and a relatively big short position in wheat as well, helped to create short covering. So on Monday, we were concerned about this recent dry weather and drought continuing in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, and had on the right there a bullish score in wheat. And wheat prices exploded here about 5 to 7% this week after my Weather Wealth report was sent out. Now we're in the more neutral category. Why? And you have to pay attention to my forecast and trading strategies here during this critical time for wheat, both in Ukraine and the plains over the next 6 weeks. So rains will be critically falling as we get deeper into the growing season, probably by May, as we still have occasional weak El Nino conditions. But look at that dry area there in red over the last few weeks, well below normal rainfall, and as a result, we saw the weekly crop update for wheat drop there on the right. And we expect further deterioration in Monday evening's weekly crop report for the U.S. wheat crop. And as a result, wheat prices are staying relatively strong. But dryness may begin to ease as we get into May for some of the plains wheat areas. In addition, about half of the wheat crop in Ukraine, and boy, they don't need this, of course, with the war going on the last year or two. Dryness in the Ukraine, look at that versus a year ago, worse conditions than a year ago in orange and red, is also driving this market. So, based on my Climate Predict program that farmers and traders use around the world, that really helps me second guess the GFS and also European model, often before the competition, based on teleconnections, melting sea ice, what's going over in South America, called the Antarctic Oscillation Index, weakening El Nino conditions, not La Nina yet. You can notice there that up to 1.2 inches there on the star above normal rainfall may occur in Ukraine during the month of May, a slightly cooler and wetter pattern. So if indeed this dryness eases in the wheat areas within about a week or two, somewhat, not completely, but some needed rainfall, and Russia also begins to see some rain, particularly in Ukraine, then we could see the wheat market top out here sometime in the next week. One of the reasons wheat prices exploded, I update my Weather Wealth newsletter with the clients. Off to the right was the forecast a week ago for up to an inch of rain there in red in central Kansas, and as a result, it didn't really happen. And notice to the left there in central Kansas, it was relatively dry this week. This and the Ukraine situation helped wheat prices rally sharply. There's Australia's weather. We do that for farmers and traders as well all over the world. It's been too wet in eastern Australia there in blue on the left, too dry in Western Australia, red on the right, as you see there right now. So we'll be watching that for clients, though weather is not really a major factor as far as the U.S. wheat markets go right now, as far as Australian weather. How about corn? Weather's been bearish new crop corn with excellent rains easing the drought. I'm not concerned about major planting delays right now, but we're building in weather premium ahead of the growing season. We've already seen a major collapse in grains the last year, and I was not in the camp last summer about bad yields. As a matter of fact, I was relatively bearish corn and beans in this massive rally in June a year ago, and as a result, generally poor demand, a stronger dollar, and good crops around the world help to pressure corn and beans more than 20 or 30% over the last 12 months. My concern right now is potentially old crop corn with disease issues for Argentina corn recently, as well as the second corn crop in northern Brazil being hurt by dryness right now. This is going to create a lot of volatility. If it wasn't for this dryness in northern Brazil to the second corn crop and also the recent disease issues there in Argentina, I think corn would really tank here over the next few weeks. Stay tuned this summer. If you're not a Weather Wealth subscriber, there's so much information out there. It often gets very, very confusing. I will help you really distill all this information, give you better weather analysis and trading strategies, often before the competition. So we're watching this dryness in northern Brazil right now. That could be a factor in July corn if demand picks up. In contrast to wheat prices going up this time of the year, over the last 15 years, December corn often goes lower. So we look at the weather, we look at technical analysis, we try to look at a variety of factors like this drought easing up to 4 to 5 inches of rain here in Iowa the next 7 to 14 days. And we put all this together and we give clients trading strategies around the world. Anyway, look at my report today. Hope you subscribe to Weather Wealth. Getting into the growing season. Had some big trades, short natural gas most of this winter. Recently long Robusta coffee on the Vietnam drought and tight supplies. But we updated our clients here on Friday morning. There may be some short-term changes happening for Vietnam's drought, seeing some rain here for coffee over the next couple weeks.